vagabonds and marriages that's gone wrong. Glory, death, and coffee shops. TV categories called reality. Polluted nature by corrupt ministries. We're all passengers. Let loose on the train. Have fun, don't stay sane. It's a part of the game. That rumbling sound. In every building, a gamer and a drunk. Green parks with shitting dogs. Hey policeman, I'm in 3 modern families. Faster, slower, shades on, hit the gas. High, lower, get into the control room. Don't get older. We're all passengers. We're toxic containers. Let loose on the train. Have fun, don't stay sane. It's a part of the game. Abstainers, maintainers, rangers, gainers, entertainers, campaigners, retainers. Let loose on the train. Have fun, don't stay sane. It's a part of the game. Let loose on the train. Have fun, don't stay sane. It's a part of the game.
I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad.
started around my city. You should come right with me, yeah. Feel me if you hear me sip water like a fish, sip box water to the gillies, yeah. This a new wave, this a takeover. Do it for the future, time to get a world of makeover. Time never stops, no, the timing is not. Time to clean up the block. Streets been a mess, how can I breathe? Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been, could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate, we need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it changes cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean.
Welcome late night. Crypto charts with Road Dog. Whether you're viewing the stream live or watching it later, hopefully we can give you some information on what's going on the crypto markets without any further delay. Let's go ahead and get started. Glad to have everybody here tonight. Strega, not a member. Oh, yeah. Almost didn't make it tonight. I got distracted. Man, I have found the addictive content on YouTube by mistake. There's all those First Amendment auditors and cop watcher things. These crazy people with cameras that actually, some of them, it seemed kind of harsh on some of them, but they've earned my respect. We're going to start out with the Tangem Wallet page. If you don't have a Tangem Wallet, well, is your crypto safe? You need a Tangem Wallet. Tangem, get you one. Slim as a bank card, secure as a bank vault. So the altcoin market, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag right now. A lot of cheap stuff out there. I like it on the cheap. We want it on the cheap. Some of it might get cheaper. Atom's at a crazy price. Crazy. You know this thing can 10x, right? I know it can 10x. Maybe more, because it's a growing ecosystem. Guys, my thumbnail alludes to this woman right here, Caroline Ellison, that little sexy little wood nymph. Smile at me, baby. I think she's related to Austin Powers, two of the most sexiest people in the world. Her devastating testimony will be hard for SBF's team to overcome. SBF? Where it's currently at, it stands for something else. Since Sam Booty, but I can't say that last one. But apparently, she got to get on the stand today and pretty much say, "It's all his fault." And so, that's the news. All right, so Bitcoin. Strega asked for an opinion on Ordi and Stacks, and we'll take a look at those. I actually like them both. I did have some ordinals when I was over at KuCoin, but since leaving then, I no longer have that. Let me know if the mic levels and everything are okay. I think I'm using some monitors right now. Get the... I'm not sure if I got these things plugged in right or not. So, Bitcoin. The big old bitty. Trend line, we talked about this and the real possibility. Having about a 60, it's about the same on this too, right? Or triangle. I think it is still somewhere around a 64% chance for it to come back to that trend line area or the breakout area or a retest. We were hoping maybe it would hold there at the price it broke out about 27,165. But at that, signs were saying that it wasn't. Signs were saying that it was more likely to come back all the way down to this trend line. And we had this little box here saying, that's not a juicy price. That's a juicy price. And it is finding support there. If we come to larger time frames, what do we have here? Anything of significance? It's the larger time frames that revealed this area to me. It's the larger time frames that you will get your Nostradamus moments when you kind of combine the things that you kind of pick up, put in your toolbox. Those possibilities, such as the 50 moving average on the daily that we found support on, this trend line that we wicked down to. Does that mean that we are good to go? Hard to say. There's some signs saying that things could look up. Also some signs saying that we may just have a lot of sideways. Now we did get a cross over here on the MACD on the daily, a bearish cross a couple days ago. Coming down the histogram, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's got to do all this and just come down real big. I'm trying to find an example. It may be something like like this little section here. So we'll keep not saying that it will be, we got to keep our eyes out for it. It's a possibility. If we get an actual retest, what it looks like we may be doing here, and then start making our way back up. Well, I mean, first we'll be looking at 27,145 area that we just lost. And if we're fortunate enough to get up above that, then we can come back and test 27,526 in that area. I've got to switch back to headphones. Hold on just a second for a sound. What would you call this? A sound switch. I need to get another voice. That voice is getting old to me.
Okay, yes, you'll need to get another voice. Something a little more interesting, something a little more, I don't know, maybe enticing? Something that does not sound as country bumpkin.
And wow, I'm just not getting much out of these. What's up? A little bit better there. All right, let's get back to the charts.
Back to the charts, if you will. We are looking at Bitcoin. It is down just at the 200 moving average on the 200 on the 4-hour chart. As you can see, we have the verde dot, and then that verde, the green dot here as the stochastics, they are rising to the occasion, if you will, to the upside, like a little explosion, bubbly. But the money flow, it keep coming down. That's a concerning sign.
We need to see that go up just a little bit. But we do have a nice wig down to this trend line. There's a good chance for short term that we're making a little bit of upswing. But technically, if we bounce off this trend line, we should go to the measured move of the pattern that we just left. What we don't want to see is what could happen, and I'm not going to be happy about this, but we got to talk about it. And this is the leg riding situation that we see with some of these trend lines. So we want to keep our eye out and make sure that we don't, get rejected off the 9 moving average, about 2,700. Come back down and just keep kind of messing with this trend line and do something like this. That's not it. It's got a potential to do a falling wedge here, another one, and break out, something like that. But man, it's not going to be fun for Bitcoin. Altcoins may get a little rally for that. So let's do a little cheat sheet. Let's go check out our indices, kind of see what total 2 is doing to get an idea. That is this guy right over here. And she's still kind of going down and down a little bit. It's a good chance. I think we're in a falling wedge pattern here within this larger channel. It's a possibility we could break out and come up to the top of the channel. I'm not seeing any signs currently that we're getting ready to do that. It can happen, but it hasn't started happening yet. Nice little doji form in there on the 4-hour. Fluctuating. But if that happens, altcoins boost up, and what we were seeing back here on Bitcoin, as the dominance kind of falls a little bit more, we might see a little bit of a run on altcoins. Some of them pop off probably pop off like popcorn. So there can definitely be some good trades here on some of these. And it looks like we might have, what is today? Today is Wednesday. Thursdays are generally pretty nice trading days. Fridays in the mornings usually are. Surprisingly, last weekend was not that bad. It was actually a lot better than I expected. A little bit more bullish than I expected. We've not yet really got retail coming back in here, so I don't trust it altogether. But it looks like we might be trying to do a little something here. So far, the 4 hours starting to look kind of nice. There's still some bear signs here, but overall, I mean, we got our 200, we got our 100, we got our 50. They're all in line. And this looks like it is very possibly just a correction. Coming down the smaller time frames, looking at the local pattern that we're in. It's a bullish megaphone that we found support here, and a good chance to try to break to the upside. So a good chance of that happening, about a 70% chance of that happening actually. So we just have to watch this over, the next, well, pretty much tomorrow. We'll get an idea if we're going to break out of that or not. Nice little spurt of volume there, but we are above the 9 moving average on the 1 hour. And we've got to come back and retest that same moving average on the 9. Make sure we get a candle close above that 200 moving average, which looks like we may have done that. Clean that chart up, road dog. Clean that chart. Just trying a little bit of indecision there, but getting that green dot's kind of helpful. It's not the end all be all, but it should give us a little bit of bounce up. Looking for some divergence there. So I mean, there's some minor forming. Biggest thing I'm looking at giving me a clue is this Ichimoku cloud. I'm not seeing anything that's saying, hey, baby, I'm ready for you to come up and see me. So there is a possibility for some more down. Don't get it twisted. So, kind of like I said, I would rather see this leg riding thing rather than it break back into this pattern and then do this. So I'm cool with the leg. That's actually kind of a little slower strength. Oh, but she's not that fun to play with. And the longer she stays down here riding his leg, the more possibility she is to break to the downside too. So if she can do something like this and keep going on, oh, that would be awesome. But I'm just not seeing it in the cloud. The cloud's not telling me she's going to do that. So that's Bitcoin. Taking a look over here, just following up on the dollar. Dollar is still decreasing. Tether dollar dominance here in the lower right-hand corner is starting to increase. So that's the sell-off from altcoins. Still kind of going on, leveling out just a little bit. So she's still just a tad bit bearish. But zooming out, retest upside, possible. Let's take a look now at stacks. STX. And I think I'm going to go with the Binance chart here. So what I like about this is that we got some nice rounding. I like that. She did not, when we were looking over here at the possibility of dropping down to these lower levels, in an oh crap moment, which we've definitely had our oh crap moments, right? All this stuff going on in the world. It did not come down here. It continued rounding, so I like that. I am not disappointed that these targets were not reached. I am not. It's still on a great juicy price at 48 cents. So we're looking at the possibility of what gets wick gets candlestick. Doesn't always happen. Did come down to the halfway mark, or a little past halfway. And actually, you can draw a Fibonacci on that move to kind of get a good estimate about where it could come out. You got a 786 and a 886, and it came down to our 786 level of that particular candle. Did something similar over here. I think that's more of a 618, so they don't always, but they can. That's why they do make good targets. They don't always hit, but we are doing something very bullish here. So the 4 hour is definitely bullish. Retesting the 200 moving average. Moving averages are lined up nicely, except for these two little wild cards that are driving price down currently. Just what it needs to do, just makes it a juicier price to get in before it goes back up to the 53-cent area. So I like what I'm seeing here over on the bigger picture. You can, this is a whole accumulation area. And it's very worth noting that this odd little area that we got right here doesn't really have a, okay, right down to this wick. But curious, there's not a whole lot, a little bit of support there, but it broke above it. There's a wick for support, okay. So this is our key level right there, 45 cents, has been holding very nicely. And now moving to the upside, just a whole accumulation zone, in my personal opinion. Possibility to make it back up to 62 cents, but probably more realistic, be about 57 cents in the short term. I do like that here on the daily, we're going through this red Ichimoku cloud, and we got the little sliver of green over there. That's hopeful for some more upside. Money flow starting to come up, so I'm liking what I'm seeing. It does look like it wants to kind of retest this 50 moving average a little bit, a little sideways and down over the next, I don't know, maybe more than a few days. Do have a cross here coming on our MACD. Coming down to the 4 hour. I think we were just here. She looks fine. She looks good, so it may have some trouble making some higher ground. And she may come back and flirt with breaking through the, we got a little zone here to work with, basically. And Fibonacci could share some insight there, probably taking it down to the bottomish area. I just see this whole area as a zone, anywhere between 45 and 51 cents. I think in the long run, you're going to look back and say, that was juicy prices, get that. Currently, I think anywhere between 45 and 48 cents. I think that's juicy for where price is now. So I like this, and I like stacks, and I've got mine staking, and it earns me Bitcoin. Like a little bitty Bitcoin miner over there. So ultimately, on the bigger picture here, we've got to come up and we've got to make a higher high. So the target that I would be looking for is somewhere around 88 cents to retest that area over a longer term play. For it to be bullish, we got to make a higher high. And so that will be one of the main targets to look for. And several are on the way. So take a look at ordies or ordinals. Let's see, Mexi has futures. Anybody got spot? Who's got spot? That's why I don't have ordi, because I don't think they have spot over on Mexi, do they? Stuck between. Let's see how much information we got here on Poloniex. I like to have the volume information if I can, but I prefer to have the chart history. Ordinal's at a juicy price, really. I remember when I was looking at this, and I remember hanging around $8 over on KuCoin. So I think it's some very yummy prices. It looks like it could go lower, though. There may be a retest of the $3 area. And again, we got this wick that could get candlesticked. So we can use that little trick that we just did. That's a huge candle right there. I don't know. I think that 886 is going to be a little too high. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work on that one. That's a huge candle. Yeah, we are definitely below that. Okay. Am I looking at the... Oh, that's the one I was looking for, right there. Anyway, this move right here is a little bit more relative anyway. 786311, 886 is pretty much where we got the line. 298, 296. These areas could be possible to come back and double and touch this and do some sort of double bottom, or we could just break out of this trend line and run for it. And I would shoot for this area about 456 up to 475, just as targets. Potential take profit areas. And it looks like the big old Ichimoku cloud wants to just suck us up in it. So for instead of the little patch of green, we got this little patch of red. And to me, I'm just not sold on that just yet. But keep an eye on it. Can turn green. Preferred if it turns green. That would make me think that we do have more upside. The other thing that makes me think that we may have some more downside is being under the non-moving average here. We talked about that in the 21. Trying to cross over that 50, although not at a sharp angle. Smaller time frames on this suggest that, yeah, we're still going down just a little bit. Where are you trying to go down to? Back to this area? Maybe 317 will hold. That kind of puts us in a descending triangle situation, which could break to the downside, which would basically bring us back down to $3. That could be on the horizon, right around this area. Definitely be a good place to nibble at this coin. Right here in that zone. Road dog called non-member sugar. Did I? My bad. Striga says not bears enough. And non-member says he's honored. I think Striga's got some talent with some of those smaller camp projects. I think he's got a specialty there. So looking at this bearish megaphone, and it does make sense to find a partial decline area, so maybe it can hold, I don't know. If it doesn't, I mean, it can come all the way down here at the bottom of the pattern. Don't want to see that. I do. Seeing just the outer shapes of what we got here makes me think there's a chance. Trying to move to the upside and try to break out. Would like to see that. Hey, Haven, how you doing tonight? Haven says, can you look at Brick for me? It's running, but I know it doesn't have much of a time frame. Yeah, we take a look at Brick. I think Mexi has it over there. Let's see what we got. Ooh, she needs to run. She's above a key area, so hopefully that will turn into support. That's cool. We'll see if this area to 15 15.86 cents will hold. So this candle in the 4 hours not officially closed up there, and it may not. Here's the deal. We got the candle up here finding resistance on that 50 moving average, and we got our stochastics up here at the top. Now if this starts flipping down, this move may be over. I do like that money flow starting to come up a little bit on the 4 hour. Cloud's not telling me anything exciting about it breaking through and going to the upside, but if there's any move higher, for right now, 17.37 is what I'm seeing as being possible. So cool, we got this area right here, 15.6 cents, kind of in a good zone. It was resistance here, or support here, and maybe what we need to see is for it to at least hold there and on pullback. And okay, that's good. 9 moving average is starting to curve up. It was looking like it wasn't doing much. It needs to cross over that 21 for me to be convinced that we're starting to work our way back up. Because until we actually get that cross, well, we can just turn right around and do a 180 and keep going to the downside. Now the 1 hour, we're at the 200 moving average. Same situation. I don't see that cross yet. Need to see those lines cross, the 9 over the 21. We are starting to get that on the smaller time frames, like the 24 minute, and that's cool. So we got a breakout with some volume of this particular trend line. It's just getting past these areas that we hit before, right around 17 cents, almost 18. We really need to see it get around 19 to 20 cents to feel more comfortable about some more possible upside. Otherwise, we could just be looking at it just working on a pattern, eventually a bullish pattern. I mean, it's a megaphone pattern. I'm starting to see lots of these little guys. But if it gets rejected up here, I mean, it can come all the way back down. Can. Doesn't mean it will. It may find a partial decline here. May retest this area. Possibility. But these do have a 70% chance to break to the upside. If we just start seeing I'm not yet seeing what I need there. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything. There's some divergence here on some of the most recent candles that's given us our pop to the upside, but this is coming down. Price is coming down. I see a rejection coming from this at the top of the trend line, and here's where our divergence is coming in on the 4 hour. So a little bit more relevant. More than likely we'll get rejected up here around 17 cents. And then we got to see if the support line holds. If this holds, it's got a chance to break to the upside. And a pretty decent chance. So I'm kind of seeing something like this happen, and hopefully if this holds, then we may get something like that. If this doesn't hold, well, then we need to hope for something like this because we don't want to see that. They usually go up, go down, or go sideways. Haven't seen them go backwards yet. Keep looking. No, but it's a good sign that we're above this area. If we can keep that, we got a good chance of breaking out of this pattern and moving up. Trying to see if we get a measured move. If we do break to the upside, we will look at we'll have to get past the 200, so we'll probably get rejected there, maybe some sort of retest, and then it's a slow. I'm not looking for a breakout just going straight up. I'm looking for something that's these altcoins are going to have to fight their way up for the next little bit. Unless what we were looking at earlier with the possibility that the crypto total 3 market cap is getting ready to break to the upside for a short-term run. I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here, that it does look like it's possible we'll get like a I don't want to call it an altcoin season, but we'll get a little pump in altcoins, it looks like. And so that may be what we see play out here with Brick, and it'd be cool if we came up to 23 cents. Don't know that it will too soon. On the plus side, being on the 4 hour, the MACD is starting to look a little bit nice. Now, you see the angle that these are pointing up? That's like almost straight up. That's a good sign. I like that. I like that a lot. That means that we could be looking at a strong move here on the 4 hour. Definitely got a nice start. Got some volume back there. Got a lot of move here with a smaller amount of volume. We need to see some more volume come in. And we saw that an hour ago. Not seeing the volume yet on this hour, but hey, we just started. We're just, what, 15 minutes into this? Almost 20 minutes in. 42. Doing a countdown from 42 minutes left in this candle. So we still got some time for some more volume to come in. But if I had to, on this, we're getting rejected at the 200, so we'll be coming back and retesting the 100. That's, oh gosh, we're still in the 1 hour here. Let's get it happen real quick. Coming back down to 1550, something like that. And hopefully that 100 would hold. If it does, could go ahead and break on out. Somebody says, thanks so much. I'll look at it and chill and wait a bit. I hope that was helpful for you. I never know. I don't know what anybody's strategies are, so hopefully whatever I see on the charts can give you some ideas. I just try to throw some things out there as I see them, possibilities. But yeah, interesting area. I would like, for a confirmed move, I would like to see some bullish divergence here, and we don't quite have that. Hidden or otherwise. So that's what I really look for. Those make your best entries when you can get in like a dip like this, but when you got the divergence. So, and that means where the RSI, instead of it coming down, it would look like it was going up, something like that. Those explode. Those are the key signals that you really want to look at for a really good entry on anything. Divergence is the closest thing that we have in crypto or in technical analysis to a crystal ball. Let's go over and check out Ethereum, which is, oh man, she's hurting. She's a hurting. Talked about that possibility. She came down lower. Thought she would find some support, hoping she'd find some support on that trend line, but did she? No, she broke into it. Let's come down the smaller time frame here. Not looking good for you, girl. Not looking good for you at all. Look at that. So we broke back into this, what was a bullish pattern. And that one's hard to identify on that bottom. I've used the angle from the top, I believe, to get the bottom. And it may stick as a channel, or it may do something. Here's what we really got. We got a freaking symmetrical triangle. That explains it all. Let's just get rid of this and look at what's really going on. We talked about this before, right? I don't trust them. Let's blow this big guy up, so see what we're talking about here. So this is the rabbit run that I often talk about, when you get a breakout to the upside and then it wants to go and do all this to the downside, and we can see it come all the way down to 1470 and just range out through here. Symmetrical triangle. A lot of people look at them as trying to make them bullish. I don't know. I just know when I used to pay for a trading group, they had everybody, I don't know, they love those triangles and they never worked. And I was like, you guys suck. You get burned on on these a few times, and you'll learn to appreciate them just as much as I do. I don't trust them. They don't always do this, but they do like to. And when you see them doing this during the rabbit run, it means that it's just ranging out. So we actually got, between all these red lines I've got here, we're probably going to be going up and down between Ethereum for a little while on this. Now, what may be interesting with Ethereum is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. This is old school, going with these Bitcoin pairs, and this is how you grow Bitcoin. Not just with Ethereum, but with any of the Bitcoin pairs. You do it at the right time in the market, you can magnify your Bitcoin. So we got a bearish retest going right here of what looks to be a falling wedge. I'm not liking that, because just like rising wedges breaking to the upside is they go parabolic, falling wedges breaking to the downside go parabolic, which we may get a quick run down here, man, to Bitcoin, which means Bitcoin may be getting ready to take off if Ethereum is saying that against Bitcoin. That or something really terrible is going to happen to Ethereum, but it didn't look like that on the chart, right? It was only a drop down to about 1480, something like that, right? This may be a clue of a run on Bitcoin here. So we're looking early at the possibility if we got a breakout where we can go up to. Well, that's not going to happen yet, so we never got the breakout of the upside there. Instead, we're starting to go bearish. But does this sound like porno music? I don't know. It just reminds. Does it sound like it would go with that? So we're already at a 786 retracement from this area. Ooh, maybe will you do it? You're within the trend line right here. Sure is. This is the juiciest area to buy Ethereum to Bitcoin. When it gets down to about like 0.04, oh, that's gold. This chart has gone on forever. This thing has been in a flag since the last bull market. It's just been flagging out. I've been waiting for this thing to come down to some juicy areas. I was playing this with spot margin over on KuCoin, really building up both my Bitcoin and ETH bags, playing them off of each other on these ranges, right? It's a small range, but it just keeps bouncing within a range for most part. And now we're down to a juicy area of 5821, 0.05821 for Ethereum, and it's actually pretty good. But quite possible we will see some lower areas. Now I would definitely check out the lower fives, 0.053. Maybe get down to 0.049. We come down to the bottom. It's got to be something with this scenario. For it to come down this low would have to be something where Bitcoin just really freaking takes off. But if it did, that would be the juiciest price, in my opinion, to get in on this. And then usually about a month after Bitcoin kind of tops out in the bull market, that's when Ethereum will run against Bitcoin, and that's when you start making, ooh, you can turn one Bitcoin into like 10 or something, you know, it will go crazy. That's when you look at buying, trading your Bitcoin for Ethereum at these prices. It would definitely pay off, and pay off within about 4 weeks to give you a lot more Bitcoin. Well, I'm not gonna take that back. Don't do it. After it runs, after Bitcoin runs to the top. Just a nice area. Marissa likes it. Still checking up on Casper here. Casper, baby, what you doing? You flirting? You going up? Oh, did you find support? Did you find the support you need? So she's holding that line. That's a good sign. That's strong, man. This is looking kind of like it might get it caught up. I don't know. There's still some. It's still got a fight on its hands because this is bearish cross over here. Great that we found support on the 50 moving average. I mean, we're coming back up to about 4.7 cents. Probably zone around in here, and if this cloud, it needs to do something a little bit more. It really needs to try to come up around 5. If it doesn't, it's going to sink through this cloud, and then it may fall to the downside. Or we're talking about a possibility of head and shoulders. It would have been especially attractive if it had already broke through here and did a retest. That situation doesn't look like it's going to play out. It looks like we are actually just going to stick within this pattern. That's how the patterns work. We stay in them until we're no longer in them. And this one wants to stay in a little bit longer. We just got to see how far up we can go. I mean, we know we get rejected up here. And there's this big thick cloud that wants to just suck us in at some point. I don't know how we'll get in there, but if it keeps doing that, it might. But it's starting to narrow down a little bit. I like that. To me, this looks good. The indicators look good. It's wanting to do some stuff. It is actually. It's primed to go up. She looks primed to move. Just need to see some more money flow come in. That'll be the real kicker to move us to the upside. It's got to get out of this red area and start going up to the green. So it's got a little bit of work, but it's trying. She's trying. But just the fact of getting a bounce off that trend line, hey man, that is good enough for me. We can get rid of this little box here. No longer the bargain zone. I'll be looking for this if we break to the downside. Striker, did you buy some Shiba? How's Shiba doing? I like this. I'm not crazy about this. It can change, but we're under. Ooh. Well, if she comes down, she's not. I mean, it won't be that bad. I don't think. So it's a good area because we're down toward the bottom here, and there may drop another 5, possibly 10% if it comes down to the wick, but they don't always come down to the wicks there. That was a retest of this area right back here. That is the key area. So considering that the lowest it's ever been on here was around 605, or I wouldn't say Satoshis. It's not Satoshis, it's dollars. All those zeros in 605, and currently we're at 680. I would say overall that's a pretty dang good place to get in on Shiba. Especially, you know, she dropped some of those drop some of those zeros. She could do good. So good job, Striga. Good choice to get some, I think, at these areas. This is a great accumulation area. And so even if you see your bag go down a little bit, just not, you know, when she gets her run, you still got a great price. I think the mistake that maybe we have to struggle, not a mistake, but an idea maybe we have to struggle with is that once we, you know, especially if we DCA or go into one that we're wanting to hold and buy, and we start seeing our portfolio come down, it's a little depressing. But I mean, it's more for your DCA, just accumulation as you can in these juicy areas at these juicy times. And for a long-term strategy, man, that will pay off. A lot better than trying to trade in on futures, I think. Still got my eye on this one because it pops up every once in a while. Dodo coin. Looks like we had a trade set up. Have we done any good? We got a breakout. So we did get a... Okay, cool. GC buys on. Looks like we got a breakout. I got my targets up before the price there, so I'm taking credit for that. Didn't quite come up to that target. I missed a target, but just a wee little bit. You always want to treat your targets like zones, just so that you won't suffer this too much. So meaning they'd rather go into the exact penny, just kind of, you know, front run a little bit, go a little bit above, a little bit below, kind of catch it around. That was a 71% move to the target. It actually got up to 67% move. Could I have done that better? Why didn't I? How did I get that? That has got to be a fib level. She is a fib. She's a fib level. The 382 didn't quite make it up there. But if you're watching your trades in the gray area, take profit. Hopefully you did. If you were in this, you guys might not have even been in this, Jesus. But it was presented as trades up, and now we come back and we just kind of to the breakout area retesting, and we go sideways, and that just sucks. So we could be looking at another repeat of some kind of pattern here. Going sideways a little bit more and accumulation basically. So Dodo looks like it likes to spike up every once in a while. It's just one that I see that gets hot every once in a while, and it will get hot again. Last time it got hot, it went up to about 35 cents, averaged out somewhere around 25, and it's at 9 now. So, hey, wash, rinse, repeat. It just takes this one a while. I don't like that we didn't get a strong breakout though. There was volume there, but then price came all the way back down. Stricker says, if it goes down, I'll get more, no problem. There you go. Hey, Jessica, how you doing? I can do analysis on XRP. I sure can. Let's go over here to Binance, take a look at this. Ooh. So we've already had this little guy charted out a little bit. Zoom in here just a little bit. Get rid of some of the noise. So I believe when I've looked at this before, these lines I've got here, the red lines, I'm kind of looking at this as in this green line. I'm kind of looking at this as more of a zone. On the daily, I'll tell you what I like about it and then what I don't like about it. Or what I'm seeing on the charts. What I do like about it is this Ichimoku cloud. Now it's technically like a no man's land and, you know, risky to trade there because it's kind of like neutral territory. But when I see a big thick cloud that price is in and touching, even though it's falling to the downside, I see this little sliver of green, that gives me hope. Well, because the cloud likes to suck price into it and then spit it out on the other side. And then you see price come out and then it rides above a real thin little cloud. And that's what we're hoping to see out here. Now, the bearish things that I see, cloud says there's still hope for it. The bearish things I see, we're kind of breaking back into a pattern which could drive us down further. We got rejected off the 200 daily moving average here. And not only did price get rejected, but also the 9 moving average. Now, we like price to be above that 9 moving average. That tells us what kind of run we're in locally. And we're well below it, which means that things are a little bit bearish, especially if it crosses over these other moving averages. Don't want to see that happen, but it's already starting to do it on the 21. That may be enough to push XRP back down around 47 cents. And we're, you know, it's just at 48.5 right now. So we could see 47 cents again out of this. Unfortunately, because the MACD is also crossing a little bit bearish there too. As we talked about earlier, money's been moving out of altcoins, but it does look like that over maybe the next 7 to 10 days that we may get start seeing a little bit more of a pump out of altcoins. And I would suspect that XRP would be a great one to see that. Now I'm going to come down to the smaller time frames to kind of zoom in on this, get more information. One thing I want to point out that's bullish over here before we do that on the 1 hour or the daily. This 100 moving average is way above the 200. That's like a magnet too to pull price back up to it. It's lined up where it needs to be, kind of pulls back up. The downside we're seeing is from this 50 where it crossed over the 200. So we're still kind of feeling the effects of that and the rejection off the 200 moving average overall. So daily does trump price and everything and kind of determines the overall direction of everything. So we broke a trend line here. We can take a measure move to get a guesstimation as to where we are going. And that corresponds with this line back here at 47 cents basically. And we're almost there. Same situation here. We got the 200 moving average. Get that line up in there. That's the yellow one. And the white one is the 100 moving average. It's above the 200. We want to see that happen. We want to see that stick there. The 50 wants to cross it and play around. We got to keep an eye on that. That'll probably be our move to the downside. But just the fact that those two are hanging out, those have the most weight. Let's turn on the secret moving averages. What did they say? They give us more insight. This is cool. The 600 and whatever moving average is over the 800. That's kind of like the same situation on a bigger scale we're talking about with the 100 and 200. There's some good signs that there's more things to attract price up than to drive it down. That's what I'm trying to get at in a nutshell. So basically, everything seems to be pointing that we'll be coming down this area, maybe 46.5. It could wick down there, retest some of these areas, do a double bottom, kind of like an inverted cat ears looking thing, and go to the upside. But we are going to struggle wherever this trend line takes us, and 52 cents, 53 cents, when we start making it back up to that area. So a little bit more down possible. The signs I look for, I want to see it get above the 9 moving average. This green line right here. It looks like it's trying to find support and trying to do that. There's some bullish divergence here indicating it's about time for a reversal. I want to take that in consideration. That's important. That will start making my tune change when I start seeing some bullish divergence coming. Well, if I sounded a little bit bearish a little bit before, I start getting a little bit more bullish. That's a good sign that we can get out of this. It's also a good sign it's still continuing down to 47 cents while making some more bullish divergence. So we may still see that. But there's a good chance on the 4 hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour. If we're above the 9 on the 1 hour, not quite there. If we can get above the 9 on the 1 hour, I would feel more confident with this actually playing out. So that's the sign I look for. Otherwise, just a little bit more down before we start trying to work our way back up, in my personal opinion. I'm sticking with 47, somewhere in the 47 cent range. Sergey says I'm waiting for XRP. Man, my little chat box keeps putting things where I can't read it. Still waiting for XRP to go a bit lower. I'm greedy. That's at a decent price now. That's not bad. Not bad. I don't know if it'll get back down to 27 cents anytime soon. It hasn't done that, has it? Did we make it down that far? Not quite, did we? We made it down to 28. I remember buying somewhere in 27 cents back in the day. Or was it? So, what we're watching, we had kind of a rising wedge. We had this trend line here. We broke to the downside. We retested it, and coming down on the bigger picture, that's what we're kind of looking at here. There could be some more downside. So if these areas don't hold that we're looking at, if we do break below, say 47 cents, that area, but we got this moving average here to support it too. So we may not break down. But if we do, we're coming down to the bottom of this trend line. We're looking at 40 cents. And that could be a play. It could be a play. Just throwing that out there. Jessica says, also have a short position on XRP. Well, that should be working out pretty well right now. Just know she might get a little bitty pump here in the short term, but it's got work to do if it wants to go up. Then you go check on my little bitty short over here on my little bitty account over on Big Unix. Let's see, my entry is a Bitcoin trade. Entry price is 27,882. So we're down $1,000, and what am I using? 25x on this. So I'm almost at 100% profit. may need to take some profit on that soon. Let's see, also got a Bitcoin short over here on Retest. Seems to be up about 87% there. Well, on the 4 hour here. And we lost a non-moving average coming down a little bit. I don't think I'm taking profit just yet on that. I'm going to keep an eye on that though. I think we're getting ready to get a little bit of a drop on Bitcoin short term. Getting a little bit more rejection here. One hour's above the 9 though. An 800 moving average. Let's see. Do I need to take profit now or can I wait? That's what I'm trying to determine at the moment. 15 minutes says, she may drop a little bit. I may get a little bit of a chance. I have to keep an eye on it, see if she'll drop down. Now, overall, this is a bearish pattern that can drop down here, so I'm not wanting to close my short just yet. But when I start getting around 100% profit, I need to take a little bit out and pay myself. And I'm seeing that maybe we just have to drop just a few points for that thing to go up a little bit. So may have it below the 9 on the 15. I got a chance to squeeze it out for a little bit. Jessica says been losing some lately. Well, man, that music sounds loud in my ears. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. It's been easy to lose lately. Altcoins and in Bitcoin. It's been tricky to trade, and they do that on purpose. They are squeezing all that they can out of these moves, out of these sideways moves. They are. The market makers are going crazy on this. Because sideways chop is the hardest to trade. Especially if you don't have a clean chart to look at. But I think the altcoins are definitely taking a hit there, but it's just part of it. I don't know if you're definitely trying to play futures and things like that. Yeah, it's there have been definitely some surprises there. But for long-term holds and things like that, you know, you definitely are going to take a little hit on your portfolio, but like we were talking about earlier, you're doing it at the right time. You're doing it at the best time in the market to really DCA into whatever project you're looking at. And then, yeah, they can still go down. May not, but they can. I'm actually expecting altcoins to take a bigger dip. Maybe next month. I do want to bring one thing up that we've talked about before. As what is today? Today is the 12th. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th, Jason Day. And we've talked about that before. Tomorrow is a solar eclipse, y'all. And I'm curious to see how this plays out, because word is Bitcoin will probably dump on that, based on the fact of us being now in a solar cycle with Bitcoin and what affects the sun, and or the sun has a big, much more huge effect. And so Friday, October the 13th, which is tomorrow. Why does that look so far away on here? Here we are on the daily. Something may happen. And a lot of others are anticipated to be a drop. So just throwing that out there. I'm curious. I don't know. I'm not sold one way or the other what it's going to do. I'm curious to see something play out. Was it going to be like a surprise bullish move? I mean, tomorrow is Thursday. That's normally a good day. Or Friday, right? Today was what is it? Today's Thursday. We're 12 o'clock. Okay, so tomorrow's not today is tomorrow. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. And my time schedule's all mixed up. So not tomorrow as in daylight tomorrow, but the next day will be Friday the 13th. So 2 days, basically. I want to see how that plays out, because there's evidence for that it should be a nasty drop. But I'm wondering if it might be a good, cool pump. I don't have enough experience with the eclipses and how they play out. But just throwing that out there. Let's see what happens. I have lost the chat again. I'm good at doing that. Stricker says, I've just been waiting for some more dips. I think they're coming. I think that they could be coming. But then they'll quit coming. And then they won't dip anymore. And then we all gonna be smiling, real big smiles. And we're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. We're in October. Halloween's almost here. We're looking at March halving for Bitcoin. And all the craziness that goes on with there. The little pump will get up and the little dump will get after, maybe, possibly, as it happens before. Altcoins are responding too. It's coming. May even see some good spikes. You know, December sometimes turns out to be a good month. A lot of times we see some pumps there in December. A lot of times toward the end of December, we start, well, about early December seems to be fairly good for pumps. Toward the middle, people start doing their tax loss harvesting and stuff. So you'll see some people selling, you'll see VCs selling off a lot of coins. So you get your little December dumps, and then January you get them where they want to come back and buy it. So you get just little pumps in January. And you can tell it's the VCs and all that because they got to go by we gotta wait till the next actual year. So we're in for some interesting times. There'll be some volatility, but we can use that to our advantage. And Jessica says, I hope it continues to fall down. Okay. Well, for your sort's sake, yeah, for XRP. Alright guys, if anybody's got anything else, last call. Last call for any coin request. I'm getting ready to shut it down, baby. My sleep's all messed up. I didn't even go to bed last night. I did sleep, but I managed to screw up my sleep, so I'm trying to get in bed just a little bit earlier tonight. Take a quick look at Rune here, which is continuing to drop. It was looking so juicy up here, right? But bearish pattern, come to the downside. Looking for some juicy prices between $1.15, $1.30. Lucy's saying we'll be coming down about 136 in that area. I can dig that. I can adjust this just a little bit. Put it up there. Lucy has a way with getting her way on where price goes. Lucy is the moving average that I use, and it started out just it's a joke, a 666 moving average. You'd be shocked to find out that actually works very well in this. So whatever algorithm, if somebody has a sense of humor or a devious mindset, About the 666 moving average. Go figure. All right, guys, I'm going to bid you good night, and may have a daytime stream tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. Tomorrow's Thursday. Try to do that, but nonetheless, I will be here again tomorrow night. Hope to see you guys back here, and trade safely. Stack those sats. Keep a positive mindset. That's key. Keep that in mind. That's what I'm looking for. Your mindscape, mind frame of mind. Stay positive, baby. God bless y'all. Y'all know God loves you, right? God wants what's good for you. God's cool, man. You need to hang out with God. God's cool.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Feet eye off the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you wish really was about your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my notice?